Hey guys, my name's Steph, I'm Botanist Cool. Today we are playing more Terra Nil. If you like this game, like, subscribe, and I'll tell you how to do the polar region. Let's get right on into it. Of course, the first thing I'm doing is I'm releasing the lava flow. I always release it from the top first to see how far it's going to go down and see if I need to release more lava flow. I don't always think you need as much lava as you imagine, but a little too much ain't gonna hurt you, honestly. I just make sure that the lava goes as far and as wide as I can get it, so I can get all those geothermal generators down. That releases a lot of heat into the atmosphere, that gives me a lot of area to do a lot of power, and it helps me clean up the ocean by using a lot of the islands to actually put scrubbers down on. Remember, if you put scrubbers down on islands where there's dirty water, you're gonna get a little bit in return because you're cleaning up all that water, so you're getting some of those resources back. It's extremely useful. And up there on the top, you're gonna see there's a lot of ash nutrients. You could always do a toxic scrubber on those to make sure to clean that up and help get the toxicity level down. But at the same time, it might also be helpful to just use those to actually irrigate and get them nice and ready to get going into the next and second phase of making tundras. Now, I am gonna say personally, I always try to make sure I have a lot of room down on the bottom that is perfectly irrigated and looks great, and that the irrigators on the hills are as close to the bottom of the hill as possible without being too inefficient, because I like the look of the tundra biome. And as you continue going on with this map, the tundra biome actually kind of disappears a little bit. I'm not sure if that's just because I'm not like super good at the game yet and that's just like my first few times playing it, or if it's because that's just how it's supposed to be. I think that's just how it's supposed to be, because the snow will destroy some of the tundra and what have you, but we'll get onto that later on. As you guys are seeing, make sure to follow those conditions on the right hand side. It'll give you some extra resources. You want that temperature to rise. Raising that temperature is actually going to help you quite a bit, and then you want to lower it later on in the actual playthrough. Of course, take a look at the humidity. Make sure you have a plan set out for all the good stuff, but you're gonna raise and then lower your temperature. That's basically how it's going to do. That's basically how it's gonna do the best. You're gonna want to use those combustors instead of just lighting things on fire. I know live on stream in my VOD, I was just like, let's light things on fire and make forest fires, and I just didn't do it effectively. And I should have just used the combustors in all reality. And now you're seeing the tundra growth. The tundra growth will go all the way down to the bottom layer, but you cannot actually grow tundra on the ground level because you need higher levels to do that. Now, I think if you use the excavator, which I don't use a lot of, it does like this whole circular radial excavator thing, you should be able to do more tundra, but I haven't tested that out. I just kind of want to see, you know, how to do the basics and how to get it going. So I haven't tested out the excavator too much, and honestly just wasn't too into it. I know that there are people in chat who are talking about using the excavator to make lava pools to help raise the temperature, and that's definitely an option. But that's not something that I was personally interested in doing. And now you can see we're starting to make these beautiful fires to actually get like the forest in here. We want to make sure that we get those big old tundra forests in here and do a lot of good stuff. Making sure to put down those thermal, whatever you call them, the volcanic thermal controllers to make those rocks so that we could actually make more lichen later on. Now, something that I did notice as I played when my first time through, you're able to build on top of ashen remains of buildings, so keep a few of those around. That way we can put more of the irrigators up there and you can transform them into the biomes for lichen, the algae farms. And you're gonna eventually have to get those algae farms down via monorail all the way down to the ocean. Now, here's the cool thing about this map. You have a monorail system already set up for you in terms of these lava rivers. It is so easy and so effective to get these monorails going down. And honestly, easiest use of monorails. When it came to the monorails in the ocean biome or the island biome, it was a pain in the butt because you had to move rock to rock to rock and just kind of go crazy with it. It was annoying at best, but here you just put down the lava river and you're good. Now, actually, what you can see what I'm doing here is I'm actually trying to find a way to expand the amount of energy I have. So I'm trying to make more lava pits, trying to do more energy kind of stuff, because I want to actually lower toxicity a bit more. As you can see, my toxicity is at 6%, and I'm trying to get it down to below 5 so we get the Aurora Borealis happening. And I'm just kind of stuck. I haven't been able to get a lot of the I haven't been able to get a lot of the scrubbers out in the right areas to do that. But remember, getting that ashen nutrients scrubbed out can count a little bit towards getting the nice biomes and the nice toxicity levels down. And just make sure to keep an eye on that and experiment with a lot of stuff like that. It's very important. And I can see I'm putting down the algae farms and starting the forest in the ocean, the kelp forest in the oceans and what have you. By putting down the algae farms on the irrigators. And now we're in the third phase, getting ready to start getting those animals here. But here's the thing. We got to start flash freezing. Flash freezing is going to lower that temperature all the way down because we want to actually start having those icebergs forms, those ice shelves forms, because we need those shelves and we need that snowy terrain for a lot of the animals to reintroduce them back into this habitat. And it's really cool. Actually, you see that a lot of the tundra, as I said before, is kind of going away as the snows. But at the same time, you have a lot of greenery, you have a lot of snowery, you have a lot of things happening around, and it still looks quite gorgeous, in my personal opinion. I've already started doing a lot of recycling. That way, I don't accidentally recycle my animal observatory 20 times over like I have been and always do. I'm still having a bit of a power issue with some things I really want to do, but as you can see, we got the elk like the lichen, and the elk like the grass around it. So make sure you have quite a bit of lichen around, make sure you have quite a bit of grass around, and you'll get them nice and easy. No big deal. The snowy owls like the tundras, and they like the forest, so get the snowy owls out in those areas. Let's see what's coming up next. I think we're doing another one now. But either way, the Arctic fox like the snow in the tundra. Fantastic stuff there. Nice and easy to get, honestly. A lot of these will just naturally be next to each other, but if you can't, hey, just grow a few more, put down a few more instant freezing machines, and you'll be okay to go. After that, we have the narwhals. Now this one's the toughest one because you need big ocean space with big ice shelf space, and it's just really hard to get. So I found this one area right here where they could kind of come out, but like it was just so hard to get the narwhals to come out in any regard. So like you might only have 1 or 2 spaces with narwhals. Don't be discouraged. Just find those ice shelves that work perfectly with the ocean. Penguins are easy to get out. They are nice and easy to get out. Polar bears are a bit of a difficult one to get out though. You need to make sure you have enough elk close to the ocean that you can get lichen and grass next to the ocean, and then get the polar bears there, because it's so rough. The polar bears are the roughest ones to find on this map, in my personal opinion, but they are well worth it once you get them out. And hey, as something that you're probably going to notice, getting the predators out is typically a little harder than getting the herbivores and what have you out, and that's kind of normal because predators, believe it or not, there are less predators than there are, prey out there in nature. And if you take out one really cool thing is if you take a look at like what happened in Yellowstone Park with the wolves, just introducing 1 or 2 packs of wolves helped control the Yellowstone's deer population, which helped control the amount of food they were eating, which helped control the entire ecosystem of Yellowstone Park. So like just a pack or a cluster of apex predators can actually help regulate the entirety of an ecosystem or a biome in real life, which is kind of cool. I highly recommend looking up what happened to the reintroduction of wolves in Yellowstone Park. It is a really cool story, and it's a really cool example of how we as humans cannot replace apex predators through hunting and what have you, but it's also a really cool story just to kind of knowing how the ecosystem works. And those few polar bears, well, they do their best to munch on whatever they want to munch on, however they want to munch on it. They'll be fine, that kind of deal. Nature has a really interesting way of working with itself when it comes to relationships between apex predators, prey, and primary, secondary, and tertiary consumers, that kind of deals. So it's a lot of cool stuff to learn about. And already you can see that everything's kind of frozen. We're getting ready to go. We're just basically using that monorail system and that lava flow to really start getting everything back to where it needs to be and getting ready to take off, send our stuff out, and get ready for the next biome. Now, on first attempt, this was the most difficult biome for me. It was the biome that gave me the most difficulty because it just didn't click in my brain, which is why you guys want to really read that Wildlife Explorer handbook that they do every time you move to a new phase. It'll tell you literally what to do and how to do it. have fun with it, explore around, you know, use the excavator, because I have not used the excavator a lot. And I really do think that if I use the excavator, I could definitely expand that tundra to make it more beautiful. I'm just kind of showing you guys like a quick and dirty primer of how to really get things going and how to beat these levels. And hopefully give you some ideas of how to like make things cooler. If you make lava pits with the excavator, I bet you can do a lot more lichen and a lot more fun with the snow and get a lot more of that tundra down further on. I bet there's a lot of things you could really do with it. You could definitely get more tundra down just at the base level by actually irrigating better and getting those biomes and those irrigators down further, closer to the cliff edge. And you're still gonna get a lot of beautiful like animals and what have you out there. So no matter what, don't be discouraged. Keep playing around. Have a lot of fun with this. If you guys are enjoying Terra Nil and you want to see me do more stuff in here, please do tell me. I love this game immensely, and it's been a blast to play. I've been playing it all weekend. I'm not gonna lie, and it's just been so much fun. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.